Hello guys, and today I will be talking to you guys about Minecraft 1.3, and the pre-release is out July 26th, which is today when I am recording this. And the added stuff that they have is they have improved overall stability, meaning less lag, makes Nether less laggy, the chat is more smooth, pretty much that. And then single player made single player internally use a multiplayer server. Yep, added a single player. They added single player option or single player commands. They added option to let LAN friends join SP games. They joined added a demo game for non-premium user, and then added a chat setting change, which were pretty much different stuff in the chat. Snooper settings. Let's check out what snooper settings are. Um, So this is what snooper settings are. Pretty much, yeah. And then that's what snooper settings are. So that's really cool. And the snooper settings allows users to toggle anonymous data being sent to Mojang, shows which data will be sent, and the video options have to be toggled manually in the options text for now. VSync full screen mode. So there's a full screen mode. That's pretty cool. Mobs can now spawn on top of slabs and upside down stairs. Ooh, mobs can now spawn on slabs. Upgraded F3 mode, which is where you can find your coordinates. Truncated coordinates to 5 fractional digits, so there's no super numbers. The Y coordinate now shows both the feet level and eye level. Oh, that's pretty cool. Remove frame rendering, time history graph, bottom left, and that didn't help at all. Thank you, they're taking it out. Added 3 values: WS walking speed, FS flying speed, and G boolean value true when you touch the ground. They updated language files, fixed many bugs, fixed texture packs in folders not showing their icon and description, fixed man in the middle attack allowing hackers to log in as you when you visit their server, fixed the open texture pack button not working on OS X. Now for the gameplay, they added adventure mode, only playable using commands, building, setting things on fire, and using buckets is disabled. Players can only interact with mobs in the environment. Now this is cool. Added trading. I'm sorry. Screenshots. There are screenshots. Using emerald as a currency, villagers will, depending on profession, offer different trades to people. There are 3 kinds of trades: selling, buying, and enchanting. As it displayed in the top part of the trading GUI, villagers take 1 or more items or item stacks and give back something. After trading, villagers will sometimes emit purple particles for a few seconds to indicate that the trading or that the trade is that their trades changed. There you go. Otherwise, unobtainable bottles of chanting and chainmail armor can be obtained by trading. Yes, so now we can trade to get bottles of enchanting, which when you throw it and hit the ground, some XP can come out. So that helps for your enchanting. And chainmail armor, that is awesome. I never really understood how to get chainmail, so let's check out the screenshots for that. So that is what the trading will look like. Pretty cool. Improved creative inventory. So there are categorized tabs for various groups of items and blocks. That is awesome. And there's a search tab to look for the item that you want to search. Adding survival inventory tab, which shows the full inventory and destroy item slot and armor slots, including a preview of your character. Items can now be deleted from the inventory by shift clicking them. Added layer snow block, monster egg blocks, silverfish spawning blocks, and portal frame and all potions. Now shows potion effects timers like in survival. Alright, and now that is what the tabs look like for your inventory and creative. That looks really awesome. Improved experience collection. Depending on ore type, experience now drop from ores that drop items. So depending on the ore type, you can now get experience not just from killing mobs, but from ores that drop items. Taking smelted items out of furnaces gives small amounts of experience. That is awesome. Destroying mob spawners give experience. Oh, that is awesome. Adjusted level progression. So levels 1 to 15 cost 17 XP each, and then 16 to 30, level 16 to 30 costs 3 or more XP than the previous, which was 17. So now I think it will be cost is 17 minus your level. So pretty much if you're level 18, you it's I don't get that. Well, whatever. The new maximum level with bookshelves is 30. Without is 8. So without bookshelves, you can now enchant from levels 1 to 8, but instead of maximum of 50, it is now 30, so that sort of sucks. 15 bookshelves are enough to reach level 30, so pretty much 15 bookshelves can reach you 30. The third slot shows the highest possible enchantment more often. Increased chances for multiple enchantments at once. Adjusted enchantments to go with the new maximum level and balanced gameplay. Added writing in blocks. Right click with a book and quill to write on or read up to 50 pages. Click done to save the book. Sign to choose a title and finalize the book. So this is what the notebook thing looks like, to quill with a book. Improved multiplayer. Added and changed many minor things. Individual stackable items near each other on the ground now become one stack item. Adding shift click support to armor slots, brewing cool, brewing stands and enchantment tables. Adding settings to disable servers offer you texture packs. Made the stars smaller and brighter. Cool. So that is what these stars can look like. Villagers spawned from eggs will now get a random profession. Removed the downwards knockback while drowning. So that is awesome. So when you drown, you won't get pushed downwards anymore. That is beast. Doors being broken by zombies will now show their damage. Ah, sweet. That is when a zombie breaks down your door. It will now show the damage. So that is pretty cool. Zoom in on that. You now spawn with an empty inventory in creative mode. Thank you. Because the toolbar on the bottom just bugged. It was annoying. The Mojang splash screen when opening the game appears for 1 instead of 3 seconds. Thank you. That took forever to load up. The sky color in the end changed. Ooh, what is the comparison? So the left is what it said in 1.2.5, and then to the right is the pre-release of 1.3, which is 12W27A or 1.3. So that is pretty cool. Zoom in on that side, and yeah. Improved pick block key. You now get the actual block. You can now pick paintings, boats, minecarts, and mobs which will give you their spawn eggs. Awesome! Picking huge mushroom blocks now gives mushrooms. You can no longer pick portal blocks. Fix many bug fixes. Pretty much, I won't read all of those. Fix many multiplayer bugs. Yeah, so just pause the video and then just go on full screen. I'll zoom in for you guys. So just pause it on here if you guys want to read the things that I am not going to be reading. So yeah. Made sub-biome type mountains like desert hills or ice mountains taller. That is awesome. So the desert hills and the ice mountains can be taller now. So this is how tall the desert mountain can go. The desert hills. So that looks pretty beast. I'm just saying. The deserts will look much more cooler now. Make cocoa beans appear on some small jungle trees. So just like in Tekkit, you can now get cocoa beans from jungle trees. Now that is amazing. Cocoa beans growing on the side of jungle trees. That's not amazing. I don't know what is. That makes me want to just explore everything in the jungle now. That's a good job from the makers of Minecraft, from their studio, because jungle biomes weren't good except for getting lots of wood and tree houses, but now they have much more to offer, like cocoa beans. Added optional starting chest on non-hardcore worlds, so you can now get the option to choose if you want a starter chest. The contents include wooden and stone tools, bread, apples, logs, planks, and sticks. So pretty much wherever you spawn, you can pick if you want a starter chest like this one. Yep, so pretend that's your spawn. You can now have a starter chest right in front of you. Added large biome world types, increasing the biome sizes immensely. So biomes will be much larger now. That's okay. Nothing too special. Added desert specific villages. So the villages in the deserts are now specified just for deserts, so it will differentiate from the ones in the plains biomes and such like that. Oh my goodness, take a look at that. Just take a look at it. Isn't that awesome? Desert specified houses made out of sand/sandstone. Oh my goodness, this is probably one of the things I'm gonna be looking forward to in the pre-release. And well, the pre-release is already out, but I'm looking forward to this in Minecraft 1.3, which will come out in August, I think. Not sure. Added desert temples built out of various kinds of sandstone and wool. Include hidden chest room and TNT trap with loot including rotten flesh, bones, iron ingots, and gold ingots, diamonds, and emeralds. Now this looks awesome. Just take a look at that desert temple made out of various wools and various sandstone. Added jungle temples built out of various kinds of cobblestone, contain multiple tripwire traps triggering dispensers filled with arrows. Loot chests include bones, rotten flesh, gold ingots, iron ingots, diamonds, and emeralds. Added hold on, let's take a look at the jungle temples real quick. Now that is what a jungle temple will look like. I don't know why it's in a snow biome. They said it's supposed to be a jungle temple, but that looks pretty sweet. Added emerald ore only generates in extreme hills biome, so you will only find emerald in extreme hills biome. Occur up to 8 times per chunk in veins of 1. Generates between layers 4 to 31 inclusive. That is awesome. Emerald ore drops emerald. Well, duh. Oh my gosh, that is what the new emerald ore will look like. That is pretty sweet. That's pretty awesome, if you ask me. So that's what the emerald ore looks like. Let's see what emerald looks like. You can trade with villagers with. So that is what the emerald itself looks like. That is what emerald ore looks like zoomed in. Block of emerald. Just like there's lapis blocks, gold blocks, diamond blocks, iron blocks, stuff like that. There is now a block of emerald, which is the crafting the same by putting 9 emeralds on a crafting table. So in the default texture pack, that is what emerald blocks will look like. The design on the block looks sort of weird, but I guess it's pretty cool that they added emerald in the game. An ender chest crafted by surrounding an eye of ender with 8 pieces of obsidian. So an eye of ender in the middle with 8 pieces of obsidian around it. Storage each player's contents across dimensions, and all ender chests contents are preserved even if all ender chests are destroyed. Explosion resistant, sweet. Emits light and purple particles. Unless mined using a silk touch enchanted pickaxe, they drop 8 obsidian. So if you plan on only hitting it with a silk touch pickaxe, do not hit open the chest. It will drop out your 8 obsidian and waste one of your Eye of Ender. Now let's take a screenshot of that. That is what ender chests will look like. Pretty cool, huh? Tripwire hook. String in between needs to be placed manually. Breaking the strings trigger a redstone signal. Cutting it using shears doesn't. And entities like boats, mobs, arrows, or players touching the string trigger a redstone signal. String can be up to 40 blocks long. Dang! Crafting recipe: iron ingot on top of a stick on top of a wood plank. So that's how you create a tripwire hook. So that is what a tripwire hook looks like. All you have to do is attach string to it by right-clicking on the ground where you want the tripwire to be, and up to 40 strings long, it can trigger a redstone current. So that's pretty cool. And string can now be placed on the ground decoratively, just like that. I don't know if you guys can see it, but that is string on the ground right there. Yeah. Wooden logs can now be placed in 3 different directions. Placement works like similar to piston placement. Sweet. Oh, that is awesome. Look at the different directions in which a wood plank can be placed and a wooden log. So that is pretty awesome. You can now have sideways looking logs. So pretty sweet. Furnaces can now be fueled by wooden tools now. So pretend you put in a wooden pickaxe. It will now be used as fuel to cook up items. And yes, so furnaces return an empty bucket when lava buckets as fuel. So pretty much when you put in a bucket of lava back in 1.2.5, it would cook for 8, like it could cook up to a stack, I think, but they would take the lava. But now they return the lava now. Ice no longer creates water in the nether and can be obtained by using the Silk Touch enchanted gear now. Glass panes can also be obtained by using the Silk Touch enchanted gear now. Nether portal leaks into the overworld now. So, depending on difficulty, zombie pigmen rarely spawn in them. So that is awesome. Zombie pigmen can now come into the overworld. And slabs added all wood types. So now look at the different colors of these slabs. That is freaking sweet. Wooden slabs crafted after the update act like wood. Stairs added sandstone stairs. Bam! Look at that thing. Sandstone stairs. That is awesome. That would be cool for the new desert villages and the desert temples. So that's cool. Added wooden stairs of all kind of wood. So just like the slabs, it will have different colors of stairs. Adjusted the hitbox. So pretty much in the middle of stairs now, you can now like shoot arrows, use levers, stuff like that. Because if you test it out, if you put stairs in a square like that, it will have like a hitbox that will not let you be able to like use levers through them and stuff like that and shoot arrows. But now you can, so that is pretty awesome. You could put like a dispenser on the back and start like shooting arrows at like mobs and stuff. That is pretty sweet. Slabs and stairs will now be placed upside down when placed on the upper half of a block side. When placed upside down, rails, pressure plates, levers, doors, torches, redstone torches, repeaters, redstone dust, and beds can be placed on them. Redstone dust behaves like on glowstone. It transmits power horizontally and upwards, but not downwards. Redstone torches don't power redstone placed on slabs or stairs above them. So that is what that looks like. That looks pretty awesome. You can now place stuff on the slabs. As you can see, the top part is the I believe it's the regular sandstone block, and then on the bottom is sandstone slab. So you'll now be able to place tracks, pressure plates, levers, torches, doors. That looks pretty cool. Redstone torches, redstone repeaters, redstone dust, and a bed. So that's awesome. Leaves, water slowly drips through them when it's raining. Cauldrons fill up when it's raining. That's awesome. Dispensers, minecarts, and boats will now be placed if there's rails / water in one place. Awesome. Instead, so pretend you put a dispenser filled with boats next to a ocean. If you power up that dispenser, it will shoot a boat out into the ocean and ready to go for sailing. Same with minecarts if there's rails in front of it. Now gravel, they changed the texture of gravel, so let's check that out. Holy snap, that is what the new gravel looks like for the default texture pack. Awesome. Jungle leaves have a 1 and / 200 chance to drop a cocoa bean when destroyed now. Lever can be placed on the ceiling. Awesome! Levers can be placed upside down now. See, like that, you can place the lever upside down. That is looking awesome. Wooden pressure plates are triggered by arrows now, so if you shoot an arrow on a wooden pressure plate, it will power up the wooden pressure plate. Pistons now take 0.05 seconds longer to expand. TNT, depending on difficulty, does different amounts of damage now. Peaceful, no damage. Easy, 50% less damage. Normal, same damage as before. Hard, 33.3 more damage. Cocoa beans, retextured item. So the texture bean what? I meant the cocoa bean has a new texture. It looks like brown seeds pretty much. Cocoa beans can be planted and grown on jungle wood now. Can be grown instantly using bone meal. Cookies give a full hunger point now. Nether warts can be grown in the overworld and in the end. Awesome. Book. Changing crafting recipe. 3 pieces of paper and 1 piece of leather in any possible shape. Book and quill. Crafting recipe. 1 ink sac, 1 feather, and 1 book in any possible shape. Written book can only be obtained by signing. A book and quill can be sold to villagers. Empty buckets stack up to 16 now. Stacked buckets work just like glass bottles do. Signs stack up to 16 now. Crafting now gives 3 signs. Crafting now gives 3 signs instead of 1. Golden apple has 2 crafting recipes now. The new one replacing golden nuggets with gold blocks. Second tier gives regeneration for resistance and fire effects, or fire resistance, So that is what what golden apples can do. That's why it is much more expensive. You put gold blocks around an apple to make a gold apple. Spawners added NBT tags to further customize spawn entities, only changeable using map editors or mods. So that's what that looks like. Just pause it there if you want to look at the whole thing. Boats are not broken by lily pads anymore. Instead, they run straight through the lily pad now, breaking and sometimes dropping it. Or less glitchy and more responsive now. Increased maximum speed. When exiting, players will be moved from the boat. When broken by a player, they will drop the boat now instead of the sticks and the wood planks. So that is pretty cool. Mobs. Pigs drop 1 to 3 meat now. Awesome! Slimes. Reduce spawn rate in super flat maps. Thank you! Silverfish. When suffering from poison potions, they will now spawn more silverfish than from nearby silverfish blocks more often. Creepers increase knockback effect. Depending on difficulty, they do different amounts of damage. 50% less damage than before, and then normal is same damage as before. Hard is 33.3 more damage. Creepers and spiders become aggressive towards the last mob or player that hit them now. So pretend you're in a multiplayer server, you hit a creeper, your teammate next to you, the creeper and slash spider will not care if creeper slash spider will not care about that other person, but he will aim more towards the person that hit them, the most recent player that hit them. And skeletons, creepers, and zombies become neutral against players again a few seconds after being hit in creative. So pretend skeletons, creepers, and zombies, if you hit them in creative, after a few seconds they'll forget that you even hit them and they won't follow you anymore. So I hope you guys have enjoyed. Once again. And the information I found that on, the links will be in the description, and the pre-release download will also be in the description. So I hope you guys have enjoyed this breakdown of the pre-release for 1.3, which is out July 26th, which is today for me when I am recording this. I don't know when I'm gonna upload this, but hopefully I can do it today, since that is when the pre-release has been released. And I am playing the pre-release as we speak, but I could not record any gameplay because Fraps for me is not working. But right now I'm using Bandcam, and I don't like using Bandcam when recording Minecraft. I like using Fraps, but Fraps is not working for me right now. So I hope you guys have enjoyed. Please leave a like. Please share this to your friends. Share this to everyone as possibly as can, because for those who have not seen the Reddit page slash wherever I downloaded the pre-release from, you guys might want to watch this video so you guys can get a head start of what 1.3 looks like. 1.3 looks really awesome. Probably the favorite part of the rumors that I've heard of 1.3 is probably being able to put items on slabs and also levers upside down. And the last thing, my favorite, is being able to start cocoa bean farms and being able to collect cocoa beans from small trees from jungles, and being able to collect cocoa beans from broken leaves in the jungle leaves. There you go. I was thinking about what I was gonna say. So just leave a like, help this channel spread. If you guys would like, you guys could watch my single player series, which is called Zombie Time. Yeah, so I'll see you all later. Peace.